Have you ever wondered what it was like to stand in the midst of one of the most significant battles in American history? Picture yourself in the late summer of 1862 in the rugged terrain of Northern Virginia. The air is thick with anticipation and uncertainty. Two formidable forces are about to meet in what is now known as the Second Battle of Bull Run, or the Battle of Second Manassas. Leading the Confederate Army, a figure of unwavering resolve and unyielding spirit, General Robert E. Lee. On the Union side, a man of bold strategies and unwavering courage, General John Pope. These two distinguished leaders, each commanding an army of thousands, braced for a clash that would shape the course of the Civil War. The atmosphere was charged, the stakes high. The fields and forests of Bull Run were about to bear witness to a battle that would test the mettle of both armies. The stage was set for a clash that would go down in history. As dawn broke on August 29, 1862, the air was thick with tension and anticipation. The Second Battle of Bull Run, or Manassas, was about to unfold, a battle that would go down in the annals of history as a significant episode of the American Civil War. On one side, Union General John Pope, brimming with confidence, was eager to engage his Confederate foes. On the other side, Generals Robert E. Lee, Thomas Stonewall Jackson, and James Longstreet were preparing to stand their ground with a force that was strategically smaller, but no less formidable. The early hours of the battle were marked by a series of skirmishes. The Union forces, armed with their Springfield muskets, advanced, hoping to seize the day. But the Confederates, with their Enfield rifles, showed no signs of backing down. As the day wore on, the intensity of the combat escalated. The battlefield resonated with the deafening roar of cannons, the sharp cracks of musket fire, and the thunderous charges of the cavalry. The Union forces, despite their superior numbers, found themselves struggling against the tactical brilliance of their Confederate counterparts. The Confederates, on the other hand, made effective use of their artillery, raining down a storm of iron on the Union lines. The battlefield was quickly transformed into a chessboard of strategic moves and counter-moves. Every hilltop, every grove, every stream became a potential advantage to be seized or a threat to be neutralized. And then the final push. Under the cover of darkness, the Confederates launched a massive counterattack. The Union lines buckled under the onslaught, and what had started as a confident advance turned into a hasty retreat. As the sun set on August 30th, the battlefield was a scene of devastation and loss. The echoes of muskets and cannons had faded, replaced by the somber silence of a battlefield littered with the casualties of war. The Second Battle of Bull Run was over, but its impact would reverberate through the pages of history. When the dust settled, the landscape was forever altered, both physically and metaphorically. The Second Battle of Bull Run, or Manassas as it's sometimes known, had a profound impact on the American Civil War and on the nation as a whole. The battle, which saw General Robert E. Lee's Confederate forces triumph over General John Pope's Union Army, left a staggering 22,000 casualties in its wake. The sheer number of lives lost was a grim testament to the brutal reality of war. The victory at Bull Run bolstered the Confederates' morale and gave them a strategic advantage, pushing the Union forces back and delaying their advance. The battle also highlighted the superior tactical acumen of Lee and his generals, a factor that would play a significant role in the course of the war. But the battle's legacy extends beyond the war itself. Today, the Bull Run battlefield is a national park, a place of remembrance where visitors can pay their respects to those who fought and died. It serves as a stark reminder of the cost of war and the sacrifices made in the pursuit of freedom and justice. The Second Battle of Bull Run was not just a battle, but a turning point that shaped the course of American history. The echoes of the Second Battle of Bull Run still resonate today. The generals, the thousands who fell, the myriad weapons that defined the conflict, these are not just footnotes in history, but lessons for the present. In understanding our past, we gain perspective for today and foresight for tomorrow. If you enjoyed this journey back in time, don't forget to subscribe to The Time Capsule and stay tuned for more historical adventures.